Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. So Netflix is basically Santa this year. 2 NFL games on Christmas Day, streaming live. At 1 p.m. Eastern, it's Cowboys, Commanders. Then at 4:30, you've got Lions, Vikings. Midwest football, playoff stakes, and probably some snow. Watching holiday football is a tradition the whole family can enjoy. Open some gifts, grab some food, settle in, and watch NFL Live on Netflix this Christmas Day.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Has the world gone mad because of drugs, prescription, and illegal? I ponder that question, and now Hollywood actor James Wood is doing the same. I'll repeat the question. Has the world gone mad because of drugs, prescription, and illegal? I've been thinking about this a lot. Dominic Carter here with you. 800-848-9222. We'll get to that in just a minute. Actor James Woods appearing on the Fox News channel, asking the same question, declaring that 2026 cannot get here fast enough. But first, a couple of details on some other stories. We'll come right back to that. We see your calls coming in right now. Hitting them where it hurts. President Trump suing the BBC, the British, that is, Broadcasting Corporation, accusing them of taking his January 6th speech and literally inserting words that he never, ever used.
In a little while, you'll be seeing I'm suing the BBC for putting words in my mouth, literally. They put words in my mouth. They had me saying things that I never said coming out. I guess they used AI or something. So we'll be bringing that lawsuit. A lot of people are asking, when are you bringing that lawsuit? Even the media can't believe that one. They actually put terrible words in my mouth having to do with January 6th that I didn't say. And the beautiful words that I said, right? The beautiful words, talking about patriotism and all of the good things that I said, they didn't say that, but they put terrible words. They actually have me speaking with words that I never said, and they got caught because I believe somebody at BBC said, this is so bad, it has to be reported. That's called fake news. So we'll be filing that suit probably this afternoon or tomorrow morning.
The president announcing that he's suing the BBC, and one of the top heads of the BBC stepped down about a month ago. You might as well talk to the lawyers and get ready to settle this one, because the BBC is going to lose. And, of course, a story we brought to you 24 hours ago. Actor Rob Reiner and his wife, their throats slit, and the son, one of the sons, has been arrested and charged with murder. Here's the police chief in L.A., followed by part of a Fox News report.
At that location, they found 2 deceased adults, a male and a female. Through the night, working with the coroner's office, they were able to identify them definitively as Rob and Michelle Reiner. We have our robbery homicide division handling the investigation. They worked throughout the night on this case and were able to take into custody Nick Reiner.
Now, police say 32-year-old Nick Reiner spoke openly about his struggles with drug addiction and homelessness. Law enforcement sources say there was no sign of forced entry here and that it appears the two died of knife wounds. Rob Reiner was the son of comedy legend Carl Reiner. Rob's Hollywood career began as Archie Bunker's son-in-law Meathead on the TV show All in the Family. Reiner was also a writer, producer, and director with hits like Harry Met Sally, where Reiner met his wife Michelle Singer, a photographer and later producer. Co-star and friend Billy Crystal appeared to be close to tears as he walked near the crime scene here Sunday night. The Reiners also became political activists, and Rob Reiner was outspoken against President Trump.
And we'll get to the lead item this morning. Has the world gone mad because of drugs, prescription and illegal? But first, one more tidbit, if you will, and it's a major one. The U.S. Attorney of D.C., Jeanine Pirro, announcing charges against a teacher. And I'll let her explain the outrageous things that this teacher is accused of.
One is Judge Jeanine. I'm here in the district, and this past weekend, an individual by the name of John Aaron Gass, 35 years old, and a school teacher at the D.C. International School, was arrested and charged by my office with production of child pornography, as well as coercion and enticement of a minor. First charge carries a maximum of 15 years, a mandatory minimum actually, and the second 10 years. It appears, based upon our investigation, that this defendant crawled into the bedroom window of a child who was a child at the school where he was teaching, and on multiple occasions he sexually abused that child. He also used her phone to video what he was doing and his phone to communicate with her. So right now he is being held. Tomorrow, Tuesday, there will be a detention hearing. And let everyone be aware of the fact that these kinds of crimes will not be tolerated in the district. And this is exactly what we do to make sure that children are protected.
A teacher climbing into the window of a student, sexually abusing the student. Dominic Carter here with you. I'll get to actor James Woods in just a second about what the horrible weekend that the world had. Australia, Brown University, L.A., and the officials in Providence, they're imploding, if you will. I don't want to call them Bonnie Fife, but it's starting to look a lot like that. I don't know, folks. We'll get to that in just a second. We see all your telephone calls. Let's bring in one of them to start off, and then we'll get to the actor, what he said on the Fox News Channel, James Woods. Let's begin with Teddy, line 5 in Yonkers. Teddy, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. I'll make it brief. Of course, I know a lot of people want to call. There's so many things I can talk about, what General Keenan said about Putin and what he's going to eventually try to do, regardless of what Trump says. But the main thing I want to talk about is Trump's reaction to Rob Reiner's killing of him and his wife by their son. He made it political, and it was fallback by the Republicans that I read tonight, saying it was totally improper, outrageous. But you're not going to criticize him for that, Dominic. I know you're not, because you're a sycophant, Dominic.
No,
you're a sycophant. He can do no wrong. He can walk down Fifth Avenue and murder somebody, and you would still support him, Dominic.
That's not true.
Dominic, I love you, but you're going to lose credibility.
No,
I'm going to be seeing Derek January 17th at Norman Thomas.
Good for you and Derek.
The whole group, they're going to honor Bill Sadler, a former basketball player. There's going to be a few hundred people there, okay? And I'm going to be making a speech. And I'm going to be talking about you, Dominic, and Trump, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
But my friend Teddy, you wouldn't be the first to talk about me publicly, and you wouldn't be the last. It comes with the turf of what I do for a living. Teddy,
well, at least we agree.
Let's backtrack for a second.
Yes,
I'm going to ask you a question. Same question.
Sure.
First of all, how did your cardiologist appointment go?
Not too bad. I'm going to get a stress test January 5th.
Okay, so good luck. Is it a cardiac stress test or a regular stress test?
No, I think a nuclear stress test where they're going to give me the shot.
Yeah, just be ready because it feels like you're almost having a heart attack when they inject you.
I said to him, I hope they revive me if I go down.
Well, no, you'll be okay, but it's going to be hard to breathe. So just for a hot 30 seconds. So just be ready for that. And then the nurse will be standing right there. But now, Teddy, now what President Trump said about Rob Reiner, you just said that Trump started it. No, actually, Rob Reiner started it with his hatred of Trump. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, okay. He didn't like Trump. He was critical of him. But at the time of death, though, Dominic, time of death.
Okay. Well, just hear me out for a second.
Fine.
If it were me, if I were the president, I would not have said it. This is not the time nor the forum. However, I'm going to say the same thing to you, Teddy, on a much a much smaller level. The president, it's times maybe 1 million, much smaller level. Have you ever, Teddy, sometimes you wake up and you've got some nuts that are just online, they're at you, and they're trying to get under your skin. If you haven't experienced that, then you can't put yourself in Mr. Trump's shoes. If you don't know what it's like for somebody to just hate on you for the sake of hating, and it comes a point where everybody has a breaking point. I mean, does that not seem reasonable to you?
Dominic, you're absolutely right. I hear people in the morning or afternoon, and it just gets to me. But Dominic, like you said before, he's the president, and he has to know he's going to be getting a lot of criticism.
But he's a human being as well. He's
a
human being
Dominic,
as well.
You're right. But I guess, you and I maybe could react differently than the president.
Teddy, let me tell you straight up. There have been at least 100 times in the last month when online I was ready to curse somebody out in all types of graphic terms, and my wife will snatch the cell phone from me and say, Dominic, you got to be professional. Teddy, you get tired of the nonsense. And I don't want this to be skewed in an unfair way. 99.9% of the comments are positive. You've got some real nuts out there, Teddy. Now, obviously, Rob Reiner is not a nut, and it's horrible what happened to this man and his wife, and his son is accused of doing it. Listen, if I were Mr. Trump, this is not the time nor the place, but you get tired of people messing with you, Teddy, and unless you're in that position, you have no idea what it feels like.
Okay. All right, Dominic, you expressed yourself clearly and calmly, and I love you, and you're smart.
The love goes back at you, Teddy. Take care of your health, man. Again, I want to be clear. If I were the president, I would not have done it, but I understand why Mr. Trump did it. You got people that just hate him for no reason at all.
Dominic, you take a lot of flack on the radio, but you don't do certain things, Dominic.
No, but Teddy, maybe you didn't hear me, my friend. Without my wife snatching my phone or Liz in Florida telling me not to respond. Sometimes, Teddy, I'm from the street, Teddy, and from the street we resolve it on the street. We don't talk. We deal with it, man to man, woman to woman. Deal with it. We don't hide behind a keyboard. And so again, 99.9% of the comments, and it's not about constructive criticism. It's about people calling you out of your name simply because they can't look at the mirror and look at their own loser lives. That's it in a nutshell, Teddy. They don't want to deal with the fact that they made horrible decisions in life and they want to pick at somebody else. And I'm telling you, Teddy, there have been at least 100 times where I've actually typed the comments and I'm ready to hit send, and my wife will snatch the phone. And trust me, the language is very graphic, street level graphic, where I'm responding.
You have a good wife, that's for sure.
Well, and good friends, people like Liz in Florida and others, say, Dominic, you can't respond. You got to be professional. See, my colleagues, they just describe them as straight up nuts and to ignore them. But I'm not the ignoring type. So again, Teddy, I wish you well. Good luck with your speech. It's okay if you tee off on me. I'm a big boy. I can take it. I love you. It's not personal.
I'll be constructive.
Constructive. Right. But yeah. I will say this much, Teddy, that I love you, man, but you want to put me in a box. You want to put me in the black man box, which means that I'm supposed to think position A as a black man. On this issue, I'm supposed to have that position.
Dominic,
that's never going to be me, Teddy. That's never going to be me.
I've never used the word black.
You don't have to. You don't have to, Teddy.
All right.
You don't think I can see it coming a mile away? Of course I can see it a mile away. Teddy, I've gone over the break time.
All right.
I love you.
Have a good night.
And same to you, Teddy. Folks, I've got to take a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Take my word for it. I live there. Come to Florida. Get pre-approved right now with my guy Michael Kotze. Call him at 561-441-2730. He's got Choice Mortgage and a great real estate team. Get pre-approved right now. Michael Kotze, 561-441-2730. Buy in Florida right now. Don't wait. Save money on state taxes. Make your move today with Choice Mortgage. Trust me, Florida is waiting. This guy's so good, he did my commercials in Florida too. Mike Kotze, 561-441-2730. A ride.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kann du Norsk?
If you used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world, with lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers. Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Spotify. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This is a real good story about Bronx and his dad, Ryan. Real United Airlines customers.
We were returning home, and one of the flight attendants asked Bronx if he wanted to see the flight deck and meet Captain Andrew.
I got to sit in the driver's seat.
I grew up in an aviation family, and seeing Bronx kind of reminded me of myself when I was that age.
That's Andrew, a real United pilot.
These small interactions can shape a kid's future.
It felt like I was the captain.
Allowing my son to see the flight deck will stick with us forever.
That's how good leads the way.
Retirement isn't just about closing out your career. It's mornings that begin with a sunrise instead of an alarm, and the freedom to live the life you've always dreamed of. With a New York Life financial professional, you'll have the guidance to make it real, so your years of hard work become the life you've always imagined. Your life. New York Life. More powerful together. Start today at nyl.com.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And coming up in just a few minutes, we'll let you hear what actor James Woods had to say on the Fox News channel. And it's how I started the show. Has the world gone mad because of drugs, prescription, or illegal? For right now, we see all your telephone calls. Let's go right back to some of them. 800-848-9222. Line 5, Eddie in Babylon. Eddie, good morning. What's on your mind?
Dominic, the world has gone mad. If I see you at the Vinnie Menduno party, I'm the guy that is going to walk up to you with a bottle of Pepto-Bismol. I really am. I've been saying this for years, and I want to. And, I mean, the last guy, I think in order for people to know what's going on, I met Joe Piscopo, then I met John Constantine, became a friend, and it's truth, justice, the American way. And 77 WABC, you don't go off lies or something you heard on a news channel somewhere. I'm a nuclear medicine technologist. I deal with facts. And you deal with facts, Dominic. And you deal with people that call up that have no facts in their brain. I don't know if they have a brain in their brain sometime, but, you take their calls, and I like your thing. You say, Dominic is done with you. I really respect. I know Hoboken Mary, she's a friend of mine, and she loves you, and we really like what you do here and what you put up with.
Well, thank you, Eddie. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm going to let you finish. I'm looking forward to seeing Hoboken Mary January 19th, or is it the 17th? I know it's a Saturday.
Where?
In Nutley, New Jersey. I'll be in Nutley talking special education as it relates to special needs kids, as it relates to my son. The first time that I'll be talking about this publicly. It's been something that's been pretty private in my family, dealing with my son and his issues. The one thing I can say to you, Eddie, I do deal in fact. I don't just get on the radio and pontificate. And if you want to see my short patience, call up, and your call's not based on fact, and you're telling me it's something you read on the internet. I have zero tolerance. And I do want to say this, Eddie. I would love to take credit for the Dominic is done with you, but that's not my work. That's the work of Chris Libertini, this guy sits around all day, works nonstop. I guarantee you he's listening now, but he comes up with these ideas, and it was his idea. Dominic is done with you. So I would love to take credit, but I can't. It belongs to Chris, and he's got a million other things he's working on. Eddie, thank you so much for the wonderful call. Time for a break, folks. We're going to come right back with more of your telephone calls.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
I got a message that our flight was canceled. But they can put us on another flight, and we just need to confirm our credit card info.
Wait, I got a security alert from McAfee. It flagged that message as a scam.
McAfee's scam detector automatically spots and alerts you to suspicious texts, emails, and deepfake videos. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana lets you buy your next car on your terms. Explore a massive inventory online, filter for what matters, and find your perfect match. Then choose delivery to your home or pick it up at one of Carvana's iconic car vending machines. Every car also comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can make sure it's the right fit. Buy your car on Carvana. Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Carvana.
Introducing Meta Ray-Ban Display, the world's most advanced AI glasses. With a full color display built into the lens of the glasses, it's there when you need it and gone when you don't. Send and receive messages, translate or caption live conversations, collaborate with Meta AI, and more. Be one of the first to try Meta Ray-Ban Display. Visit meta.com/Meta Ray-Ban Display to book a demo and find your pair.
This is Charlie. He's my part rescue dog, part whirlwind. Half of his breakfast always ends up on the floor. And he leaves fur everywhere. That's why I grabbed the Bissell Power Clean Fur Finder. It's cordless, powerful, and actually finds fur you don't even see. If you've got a pet like Charlie, you've got fur everywhere. The Power Clean Fur Finder gets that. Discover how Power Clean Fur Finder makes pet cleanups effortless at Bissell.com.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Rob Reiner in L.A. The young students, including the vice president of the Republican Club at Brown University, slaughtered. 2 killed, 9 injured. 15 people, Holocaust survivor, and children killed in Australia. Many others injured. Has the world gone mad? This is just the actions of just this past weekend. Is it a result of drugs, prescription, and illegal? I've pondered that question, and Hollywood actor James Woods appearing on the Fox News channel doing the same.
I had another emergency surgery 6 weeks ago, and my beloved wife, Sarah, just started sobbing. I said, "What's the matter?" She said, "This has been such a horrible year. You know, Charlie was murdered. And when this happened, I just looked at her and she said, I would give anything for this to be New Year's Day 2026, because this has been the worst year I could ever experience. I mean, the world is going insane. And by the way, you just glossed over this, but these drugs that people are on, prescription as well as the illegal drugs, I watch football. I don't usually watch network television, but I was watching football, and they advertise one drug after another after another. You look at the fine print, and suicidal tendencies and homicidal tendencies, and the list of side effects. And I'm thinking, if everybody's on this stuff, just the sheer mathematical possibility of insane behavior, violent, insane behavior, has got to be taking place. I'm not talking about this case because I don't know the facts of the Nick's situation. I know we've been in rehab and so on, but it's not my place to judge. But you're asking about the world in general. I mean, I grew up 7 miles from Brown University. I was offered a scholarship to Brown University. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus. It's gone very left-leaning in its teaching protocols and so on. So did it surprise me that one of the victims was a beautiful, lovely 19-year-old young woman who was the head of the Young Republican Club? I don't know if the motive of the killer was political, but I'm not surprised that the one who got murdered that we all hear about, of the others who were also shot, was, a young conservative. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if she was targeted.
It doesn't surprise me when I hear that. Look, I'm a Roman Catholic. I have a lot of Jewish friends, and I say to all of them, you've got to be careful. There is now a jihad against Jews in the world, and people are just upfront about it. They're just saying it. There's, this country over the past 4 years, and, I don't want to get into politics. I want to talk about Rob, but, there has been an invasion in this country that if you look at Europe and see how far ahead the invasion is progressing there, that is going to end this country as we know it if we don't figure it out.
And Mr. Woods, a great actor, is raising some very legitimate points. Matt Blaze, help me out here. From your perspective, is the world going mad because of drugs, illegal drugs, or even more importantly, prescription drugs?
There's always been a prescription drug issue. When people want painkillers, they get addicted to painkillers. I mean, Michael Jackson, addicted to painkillers. Prince, addicted to painkillers. So what ends up happening is you need them when you have some kind of surgery, but then people get addicted, and then when they don't get the prescription painkillers, that's when they go for the illegal drugs. Now they're going to the street. Now they don't know what they're getting. And then you have fentanyl, where a tiny little amount of fentanyl can kill you. And I'm scared of that stuff. I am scared of drugs. Like, I've never done drugs in my life. I'm not going to say I never tried weed. That's barely anything in my book. But
that was in me in your day. Now you don't know what that stuff is laced with.
I've never tried cocaine. I've never done acid. I've never done pills or anything like that. I barely drink. And that's just because I just don't have that addictive personality in that way. I love food, but that's it. So I think, is the world mad because of drugs specifically? I think it may add to the problem of what's happening.
But let me throw a monkey wrench in there for you. What about these drugs? You see them on TV, right? It can cure, and then they mandated to give the side effects.
Yeah.
Can cause homicidal tendencies. And look at some of the drugs in the transgender community, right?
Right.
I mean, people are just snapping.
Yeah, some of those drugs, they'll rattle off this whole list of what can happen. It's basically everything. You might as well just say, you could die, you could lose a limb, your eyes could fall out, your teeth can fall out, you're going to have pain in your hip, you're going to have this, you're going to have that, because that's what these do. And when I hear that, I go, I don't want to take that, no matter what it does. So, yeah, I think we've gotten to a point in the society where the drug companies make all of these drugs, and then they put it out there, And it's amazing. Like, you'll hear about a drug for a little while, and then
it's gone.
It's gone. You never hear it. You never hear about it again. And now this whole thing with like Ozempic. Ozempic seems to be the cure for everything.
Literally.
And when I see a drug like Ozempic, and everybody's hailing Ozempic, we don't know what the long-term effects are of Ozempic. And I always say when I hear these things, this is how the zombie apocalypse starts. If you ever watch these zombie movies, what happens? I Am Legend, Will Smith. How did it happen? Well, we have a drug that cures cancer. And next thing you know, 5 years later, everybody's crazy. And who knows? How do we not know? And I'm not saying that's going to happen to that effect, to that extent, but you never know. All of a sudden, 5 years from now, people start having ailments. They could have like kidney failure, liver failure. Who knows how this is going to affect their organs later on with all these so-called side effects.
Well, I hear you, and thank you for that, Matt. I think that drugs are definitely having an impact, and I really believe with the politics from the left of excusing everything, that these nuts out here that, mommy, they're in the basement, they're keyboard warriors, and they decide to take the next step, and then unfortunately, these shootings happen. Thank you, Matt Blaze. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 3, Kurt, Staten Island. What's on your mind, Kurt?
Hey, Dominic. Thanks for taking my call. Rob Reiner. I in no way, shape, or form did I ever agree with any of his political views, but I loved him on All in the Family. And one of the best parts is about the writers, the way they wrote it up.
Okay, I got that, Kurt. You loved them. What's the point?
That he put Archie Bunker in his place, and
okay,
I think that was beautiful.
Kurt, what is the point? Kurt, please tell me. Wait, Kurt, you're just calling up to tell me you loved him as an actor?
Well, no, he was a guy. He was actually a good person too. I also know that. I just didn't agree with his politics.
Okay. All right.
On All in the Family, he was.
I got it.
I
got it. You liked him as an actor. I got it, Kurt. Thank you very much. Let's go to line 4. Patrick in Indiana. Patrick, what's on your mind?
Yes, Mamdani. Mamdani said when he first started running for mayor that he would seize the means of production. That's communist. That's what the Russians did. And
okay, well, it seemed to work for him, right, Patrick?
Pardon?
What you're talking about something? The train has already left the station. He's the mayor in less than 2 weeks. What's the point?
No, it hasn't. Let me explain.
Quickly.
President Trump's first obligation, like every...
Okay, Patrick, you're going down a road that, frankly, that's a waste of time. I'm sorry. Nope. You want to say you want President Trump to step in. Unless Mamdani does something that's clearly illegal, politically, Trump nor anybody else can touch him. That's the bottom line. He's the first Muslim American mayor. He's untouchable politically, unless he does something that's very bad. Quickly, Patrick, make your final point so I can move on. Okay, Patrick is done. Let's go to Sherman, line 3, Manhattan. Sherman, what's on your mind?
A few things. I respect you. I respect your show, and I respect Matt. I couldn't disagree with the attempt to associate prescription drugs, which have been in our country for a very long time, with psychotic, sociopathic, behavior. Bottom line is there are many hundreds and thousands of NFL players that are on prescription drugs and getting banged up and hit. They don't go out and kill people. Same thing with the NBA. Same thing with hockey. It is not prescription drugs. It's a lack of spiritual consciousness in the world, in the country. Spirit simply means consciousness. See, everybody thinks the word spirit means religion. No, it means consciousness in the mind, being aware of the self and everything around you. There is not enough spiritual awareness in the country, in the world. Period. Religion is a good thing to an extent. Not extreme religion,
You're correct.
But
You're
reasonable
correct.
religion.
You're correct.
And so I'm saying to you very simple. I am not going to blame prescription drugs that millions of people are taking These people are mentally ill because they have serious self-hatred. They have hatred towards too many things that they see around them. And mental illness goes like this. When the mind is obsessed and focused on all the wrong and bad things that don't elevate you in a better way, that's called mental. It's not the guy on the street with no shoes on talking to himself. Yes, that's mental illness too. But people have great jobs. They have nice homes. And they could be crazy as an F. Because
okay, but Sherman, help me out here. You're a voice of reason.
Okay, I'll try.
And you can't speak for a mass killer, right? But what makes somebody decide, and we don't know the facts yet, we don't even know if the person will be caught. Let's hope and pray. What makes somebody, we know hatred, Australia, what makes somebody shoot up Brown University like that, in your opinion?
In my opinion, many things. That's a magnet for consciousness, an education environment. That's the perfect place to stamp out what you don't believe in terms of in your mind. So you go where the disagreement is. Wow, these people don't think like me. These people have these points of view where they don't accept everything. That's where I'm going to go and do my work. Of course, he's not going to go to a candy store.
But Sherman, yes, it's almost like when a person jumps off a bridge, and then the rest of us got to sit in traffic for 3-4 hours. Why not just kill themselves? If you're that troubled, why not just take yourself out? Why kill innocent people?
Because, again, and I'm going to overstate this, when you have a lack of God consciousness, Christ consciousness, Buddha consciousness in your mind, you're going to think in the opposite direction of what is reasonable, righteous, and good. Of course, it's easy to just kill yourself, but there's a level of narcissism. There's a level of undercurrent of extreme self-importance that they want to make a serious statement in their exit or with what they hate and what they think is not reasonable to them. Even, of course, it's totally crazy, but in the mind of a killer like that, he believes that what he's obsessed with makes sense to him because the obsession is making it make sense.
Unfortunately, I think you're correct. I mean, and I don't want to put police officers in this position, but how I honestly feel is I just wish that there was a cop there to put a bullet right into his chest, into his heart. And then that officer's got to deal with their life on the line, possibly a criminal trial. But I mean, enough is enough. But I think you're on to something, Sherman, in terms of spiritual and religion. You know, I don't know, man. I'm getting a headache a lot lately, simply because of what's going on in the world. And a son accused of slashing his mother and father's throats. Why? Yes, he was troubled. And yes, as parents, sometimes tough love is required. But why would you do something like that, Sherman? Why?
Because people don't respect older people. These young kids today, they expect everything with no resume, no experience in life. The world is telling them that you're important even though you haven't done anything.
Unfortunately, Sherman, you are correct. I see him every day. Sherman, thank you for enlightening me and helping me, because it's been a tough weekend. I'm going to be honest with you folks, and I'm late for a break here. I'm sitting around Saturday because, I work Friday. The only day I'm off is Saturday. And so I generally tune out from the world on Saturday, generally speaking. And I happened to look at Twitter, and there was something from the lovely DMS, and she was inquiring about my daughter that lives in Rhode Island, hoping that she was safe. That's how I found out about the shooting at Brown University, and that started, 8 hours of watching nonstop live coverage, calling up to Rhode Island several times. Do we pick up and get up to Rhode Island immediately? My daughter's a very independent person. If something happens and I'm not there, then I'm going to want to jump off a bridge. All of these things are going through your mind. I'm late for a break, folks. I've got to do that. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Everyone wants the Emirates NBA Cup.
And things are heating up.
30 teams started. Bang! But only 8 have advanced to the single elimination knockout rounds. To survive, they'll have to be hungry, relentless, ruthless.
Are you kidding me?
They all want the cup, but only one team can claim it. Who will capture the cup? Emirates NBA Cup semifinals, Saturday on Prime.
Adobe Acrobat Studio, so brand new. Show me all the things PDFs can do. Do your work with ease and speed. PDF Spaces is all you need. Do hours of research in an instant with key insights from an AI assistant. Pick a template with a click. Now your prezzo looks super slick. Close that deal? Yeah, you won. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat. It's time to do your best work with the all-new Adobe Acrobat Studio.
Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... there, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
At IKEA, your dreams can come true. Well, maybe not the ones where you're being chased by a monster. We're talking about kitchen dreams. And there are IKEA products and solutions for all of them. Whether it's a whole new kitchen, a statement glassware set, or just new cutlery. If you got big dreams or small dreams in any size of budget, IKEA can help you bring them to life. Visit IKEA.us/dreamkitchen to learn more. Dream the possibilities.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to the phones we go. Line 5, E. Frank in Astoria, Queens. What's on your mind?
Yes, Dominic, you're not going to regret this call either, okay? I know what I'm saying sometimes, and I'm not convoluted.
Okay, can we get to the point? We don't have to set up... You make me want to pull my hair out. Why? I'm going to be honest with you. Why do you think I want to hear all these preconditions? Get to the point.
Yeah, the point is, if Billy Crystal lived in the neighborhood of Rob Reiner, and they knew that Rob Reiner's son was involved with having mental issues and some sort of drug usage, why didn't Billy Crystal actually look into the possibility that he could have stopped this crime?
Do you really want me to respond to that nonsense that you just said? Do you really want me to respond to that?
Dominic, it's not nonsense. If you have a neighbor and he's listening...
Dominic is done with you.
Lose the call. I never do well with E. Frank, but I'm going to respond anyway. How dare you suggest this man, meaning Rob Reiner, you don't know what he did with his son. We do know that he tried every avenue he could. And when a parent is forced to turn to tough love, it's one of the hardest things that you can do. So now because you got to turn your back on your child. And when you have resources to help your child, but your child has hit rock bottom, you've got to pray on your knees that they can return to where they once was. So you said, why didn't Billy Crystal do something? That's not Billy Crystal's child. What world are you living in? He's supposed to supersede Rob Reiner and say, I'm going to intercede and do this for your child. And then you wasted my time setting up what you wanted to say, and your call is nutty as it always is. But I'm the nut because why am I taking Matt Blaze? I've never had a good call from E. Frank. Why do I keep taking the call? And why are you laughing? I'm serious as cancer.
I'm thinking of what he said, like Billy Crystal. Like first of all, he picks a guy who's like in one of his movies. Then, if anything, it's like saying, why didn't they put it? It's like Monday morning quarterbacking. I mean,
it is Monday morning.
To go, well, why didn't they do it? Why didn't they? But why Billy Crystal? How about the daughter who lived
Billy
across?
Crystal was walking around the house apparently.
Yeah, but the daughter lives across the street.
And she did.
And the daughter was the one that came in. So why didn't anybody else step in 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago and say, this kid, you never know what he's going to do? I mean, come on. How do you know that? Who would have ever thought that just because, listen, a lot of people, like Sherman said, a lot of people had used prescription drugs. A lot of people have drug problems and they don't kill people. That's beyond having a drug problem. That's having mental illness when you kill somebody, especially your parents.
Or so much hatred.
Right. So how is anybody, if Rob Reiner and his wife didn't know, how is anybody else supposed to step in and go?
But maybe
it makes
I'm
no
nuts.
sense.
But maybe it's me. I've never had a single good call from E. Frank, not a one, and I still took his call.
True.
So maybe I'm nuts, you know.
Maybe you're giving him one last try.
How many times do I got to touch the stove before I realize that it's hot?
Another last try.
I've never had one good call with him. He's never said anything that made any sense. But he calls, and we got all these calls, and I went to E. Frank. So I guess I'm the glutton for punishment here. So many calls, folks, and I just don't have the time, and I don't want to shortchange you and take your call and say you got 10 seconds. So I will tell you that I will be back at 3 p.m. Eastern today. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about. I feel so bad for all of these calls, Blaze, and I can't get to any of them. Folks, do me a favor, please. Hug your loved ones, and have a great day. I'm back at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Take my word for it. I live there. Come to Florida. Get pre-approved right now with my guy Michael Kotze. Call him at 561-441-2730. He's got Choice Mortgage and a great real estate team. Get pre-approved right now. Michael Kotze, 561-441-2730. Buy in Florida right now. Don't wait. Save money on state taxes. Make your move today with Choice Mortgage. Trust me, Florida is waiting. This guy's so good, he did my commercials in Florida too. Mike Kotze, 561-441-2730. All right.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. One of the perks about having 4 kids that you know about is actually getting a direct line to the big man up north. Mm-hmm. And this year, he wants you to know the best gift that you can give someone is the gift of Mint Mobile's unlimited wireless for $15 a month. Now, you don't even need to wrap it. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.